Many of the gods of the past and today represent fertility and the cyclicality of life. The renewal. Jesus dies and is reborn at Easter, the astronomical moment where we have the spring equinox. This is a moment where nature is reborn after his death, with the cold of winter. We have already spoken of gods, all associated with fertility, who are reborn and therefore have festivals in the spring. Examples are the Babylonian god Tammuz, the Semitic god Baal, or the goddess Inanna. Or gods who simply represent fertility, and their feast takes place in March, when nature is reborn. Many of these gods had the symbol of the serpent. The serpent with its shedding of skin represents rebirth, renewal. Examples are Quetzalcoatl, the winged serpent god of the Aztecs who represents fertility, or Kukulkan, the winged serpent god of the Mayan people. In both cultures, Kukulkan and Quetzalcoatl were associated with different forces of nature, including water. In Mayan culture, Kukulkan was often associated with rain and water sources, while in Aztec culture, Quetzalcoatl was considered the lord of wind and rain. Enki was a Sumerian deity associated with water, fertility, and the serpent. He was considered the lord of fresh waters, rivers and seas, and was often represented with a fish or a snake wrapped around his staff. Enki was also associated with fertility, as waters were essential to agriculture and life itself. He was considered the god of creation and rebirth, and he was believed to be responsible for the creation of life and mankind. Vishnu is a very important Hindu deity and is often represented with the Adisha serpent which is found around his body. In fact, Vishnu is also associated with water and fertility. He is known as the preserver god, who is charged with protecting the universe and restoring balance whenever it is disturbed. We have many gods with symbols and meanings, dates of parties, very similar to each other, and this is no coincidence. There are characters, like Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, who talk about the fact that there were 5 humanity. The first 4 were destroyed for reasons such as catastrophes, due to celestial events, or wars. They were annihilated, and now we would be the 5th humanity. Hesiod and Ovid tell us about 5 eras. In the Bible, like many other religions, we have the Great Flood. In this flood we have an environmental catastrophe, and all life is wiped out. However, a God saves man and many other living beings. The Kukulkan Bible is a collection of very old manuscripts containing the myths of different cultures. At the beginning of this Bible we have the creation of man, and a subsequent recreation. In fact, it is the Bible itself that tells us that a catastrophe has destroyed humanity, and if you read this part, it will be disturbing to notice that something that destroys the mankind is just a celestial event, much like the fall of celestial bodies to earth. This event brought about the destruction and poisoning of man. The few survivors came out of caves and down mountains, now wild and lawless. The disturbing thing is that several Native Americans tell us that their people come from underground, that they have risen from underground cities, created for catastrophic reasons that occurred on the surface. The Sumerians have the myth that the gods are enraged with humanity and decide to destroy it. Enki, however, God who, as I have already said, represents fertility, creation, his other symbols of the waters and the serpent, save humanity. Like God does with Noah in the Bible. Guess who saves mankind in the Indian flood? Vishnu. Another god with a snake symbol, which, as we have already said, represents renewal. We have many myths with an alleged destruction of humanity, and I believe that it is the snake god who saves humanity precisely because this represents the renewal of humanity, its rebirth after its death, as happens with nature in winter and spring. One of the undeniable meanings of the snake is therefore renewal and rebirth. Thanks for watching.